Hello, I'm Tan the TC channel. I thought I might as well make a video talking about just my Pop Funkos. I used to hate Pop Funkos, thought they were stupid looking, silly, and talk about why I eventually got into them, similar to like Fortnite and stuff. I used to hate Fortnite, used to hate, still kind of don't care for Genshin Impact. But yeah, there were a lot of those types of games that were just very trendy that I just always get annoyed by, but eventually there's something that might warm me up to them. And yeah, these are so far. I do have Mr. Sinister's on the way. I love Mr. Sinister, and I found some ones on sale as well as I found out that at least the Witcher TV show based Pop Funko are on sale like deep at a lot of places. So I thought, hey, I might as well pick some of them up. I don't have anything from the television show. I only really like the first season. Second season's all right, but it's got some problems. It strays a little bit from the books as well. And then the third season is just like, forget it. So I just want to talk. I sent a message to my friends to give me what their top favorite Pop Funko are, their top 5 to choose from, and the 5 worst ones to choose from. I just sent pictures of all of them, and hopefully they'll choose which ones, or I'll ask them. I am kind of like, I don't know which ones I truly like over others, because some of them are stronger than others. But let's start with something. First off, I think this is my worst Pop Funko. This is Edward, no, not Edward, Jacob Fry, sorry, from Syndicate. I remember I got this, my mom got this for me a long time ago when the game launched. I was really into Assassin's Creed then, and I just hate this, and the game's just not that great either. It's pretty weak of the series, but yeah, this is probably my least favorite. And the reason I pull him out is there's a typical pose that the older Pop Funko like to do, and it's this pose with the clenched hands, maybe an object in their hands. And I kind of hate that with a lot of them. I like them to have more going on with their hands nowadays. Now, I will give one Pop Funko that does typically do this a pass, and that's this one, because this is typically the same pose and everything. But what works for this, first off, I love Black Manta. He's one of my favorite villains. I love his look, especially his classic look. Oh, the phone's being weird with the focusing. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, his head really works though for this. It works into this, and it is really cool looking. It works better. I think he's actually doing something with at least one of his arms. And once again, that head, it works perfectly with the idea of big Funko Pop head, and it doesn't have like the typical black rounded eyes. It has red ones instead. By the way, I do want to mention there's a Gengar Pop Funko. They should just change the eyes red. It looks silly with them just black round dots. I don't know. Sometimes they don't know how to do that right. But yeah, my friend Dave actually got me this one because he knows I really like Black Manta, but now I like Pop Funko. Okay, and they've been trying a lot more with their figurines over time and giving more. They've been doing like the black light figures and stuff. One of the best things they weirdly do is like robot characters into Pop Funko. These are always like, they just look legit like the characters from the game. They don't even look like Pop Funko. Of course, rounded eyes, but like it makes sense in this context. It's almost like they're not even Pop Funko. Whoops. So I think they do a great job with the robot ones, unless it's Transformers, which I still like the Transformers. I'm a big fan of Transformers. You can tell by that corner over there. But I have to say that they really do a good job with these robot ones. These are up there as some of my favorites. And of course, like, I hate that Mass Effect Andromeda has more Pop Funko than the original Mass Effect trilogy. because Garrus is really cool, and these characters are great. They should have taken more advantage. It was sadly while they were still in early stages of Pop Funko. You can tell when you look at Miranda and Shepherd Pop Funko, because they look really early Pop Funko design, and they have that arm thing going on and such. But Garrus is probably one of my top favorites. Definitely up there is one of my favorites. And it is hard to get a hold of Tally as a pop, excuse me, as a Pop Funko, but still, like, I'm not missing much. I've seen what it looks like. It does also look like as a typical pose. It doesn't look like anything special. And if it's to go by a certain other Pop Funko, I don't know if it's Face Mask. I'm trying to find where he is. He's hidden in here somewhere. If he's anything to go by like Doomslayer over here, sorry Pennywise, I'm guessing the face mask probably falls off really easily. So I still have the face mask, but I just decided to leave it off. And this has become one of my least favorites now because of how pathetic they put on the frickin' face mask. Let me turn this off. I have something loud blasting in my frickin' ears. There we go. But yeah, like, he has the typical pose as well. He is designed well with the body structure and such, but it's just a typical pose. Wow, my camera is freaking out with the trying to focus. But I think it's become one of my least favorites now. Then there's this. This guy is going for a lot right now. This is the Soul Cinder from Dark Souls 3. He is also sculpted really well. I do think that the face looks a bit like clay, weirdly, but he is a good figure. His sword got like pretty easily bendy, sadly. So I have to keep like trying to bend it the other way, and it doesn't want to focus and such. It freaking sucks. But he does have the typical arms by the side pose. You can see again, just like this dude, but a little scrawnier and such. But yeah, he's okay. He's okay. He's nothing amazing. All right. I do really like this one, but this is an example of like a Funko that is not Domino's effect. Not going to stand very well. Look at his legs. They are not. I don't know if that's how it came, by the way, in the package. It was like that to start with, and this is actually not a very old Pop Funko that I've owned. He's been probably mostly in a package for most of his life. We'll get to the rest of those guys knocked over. That was gonna happen anyway. Look at him. Also, what's with the gray hair? It is still nicely designed, and I like that there's more going on with the hands. They kind of had to do that, but other than that, I am disappointed that he doesn't like to stand very well unless I get it just right. Yeah, that's why he's kind of leaning when you see if you ever see me looking through my bookcase, my bookshelf or whatever, you see him leaning up against the other Souls stuff. That's why he just does not lean very well. All right, you know what? Also, I just got it at a thrift store or whatever. It's just goofy Joker Batman, whatever. It's probably one of my least favorites now. Up there with those top three, Doomslayer, Jacob Fry, and him. Alright, who should we... This guy also has the same thing going on. He's probably my least favorite Skyrim figurine, or Elder Scrolls figurine, I should say. But he is really well sculpted and has a lot going on with his design, so I'll give him a pass. I also love the touch of the Daedric Axe. I'll give him a pass just because he's designed really well. Sorry that I have my light on too. That's a funny thing. It should be brighter than this. But yeah, this is an okay one. It's in the middle somewhere. I think that while I love Paladin Dance and there's Piper and such, Piper's in here somewhere. Piper does not stand well, by the way. I do think because of the faces, it is a bit generic, and it's one reason I didn't care for a lot of the Pop Funko is just those faces. But at least it's something. Look at her. She is really top heavy. But they're still okay. I put them in the middle somewhere as Pop Funko go. I'll get to the Saurons as well. I want to get to the Transformers. Let's get these two. Sadly, these two do not stand very well, but I'll get to them in a sec. So let's get to some of the Transformers. I think that this is a okay Transformer. I like it when they do metallic designs and such. Whoops, sorry there, Karlak. But I will say I kind of hate that there's not much more going on with the arms. They're very stiff looking, and you'll see this with even Galvatron. Ooh, he's like he usually stands pretty well, but right now he does not want to stand very well. So I'm just gonna lay him down over here. Oops, it's a mess. Don't worry. Yeah, see this? This is Galvatron. So this is a reverse color. This is supposed to be like the G1 Megatron colors, basically. But he also has the weird standing pose that I'm just like, this is boring looking. But it's still not a bad Funko Pop. It's not a bad looking one. Let's move these out of the way. God, they hate standing. He's probably my favorite, ironically. Optimus Prime is my favorite character, but Rodimus is probably my favorite Funko Pop. I just like that it feels like there's a little bit more going on with him, but it's still doing that typical pose. It needs to do more. There's actually a Megatron that's doing a little bit more that I would probably pick up, as well as there's a metallic Megatron that looks cool. Let's get these guys out of the way. So I really had to pick up, because there's like almost no figurines other than maybe U2's, which I don't really care about. But I might, just because they have Baldur's Gate now. But these are probably the coolest looking. They're very well designed. Pop Funko. They have a lot of detail, and they put a lot of effort into them. They're probably my favorites. They're definitely up there. Same with Karlak. Karlak's really good too. Just a lot of detail once again. They did a great job. And these are my bays. And of course I had to pick this up. I got this for a great sale. It was like going for 13 bucks or something. Probably even less. And I was like, I have to get it. I don't have anything weirdly. I don't own any thing like merchandise from the 60s series, even though this isn't technically what I've been looking for, but still, it was the best I could get at a good price, and I love that it had the ouch and pow. They're also in poses. I like that, and they have their own stands, so they were up there as some of my favorites as well. But I will say, because the like Baldur's Gate and the robots have more details going into them, as well as Garrus from Mass Effect, I think those are over them, but they're still very good, and I'm a big Batman and Joker fan. They're very well designed, and I love it when they come with their own like stands or whatever. You can see that Hancock has the same pose we're seeing, except his hand is not clenched. He can stand well, but I kind of don't like that they made him look more like the Fallout 3 ghoul. And what's with the hair? I don't think he has that hair thing going on in the game. So I just didn't like the approach, but I love Hancock. He's one of my favorite characters in Fallout 4, and I'm glad I was able to get him. He's still really well designed, and it's cool to see what type of gun they put with him. Pennywise, I actually have two Pennywises, but the other one's not doing so well right now. He's got like brighter red hair. He got his face smushed in for some reason. Probably deserved it for that big ass forehead of his. But yeah, I do think that there's a lot of Pennywise variants, and they do a decent job. It is doing the typical pose, trying to hide it with just the open hands. It's still the same pose basically, just open hands now. But yeah, it's not a bad looking Pop Funko figure. Then we get to stuff I really like. I love My Geek. It is hard to find anything My Geek related. There's only one like Loot Crate gaming thing, and it doesn't even look that great. This is the best My Geek thing to exist physically. Unless you look on Etsy, probably, for something Mygeek related. I don't know what could be on there, though. But yeah, he's well designed, and I love having him on my shelf. And they especially use the Skyrim design. I do have the thank you, Nick. By the way, he doesn't stand very well either. I do love the Godzilla. There's a bunch of Godzilla ones. I do have his like energy that whatever, but it's stored away right now, and I just like posing him like this anyways, so that the thing isn't in the way. But it is a really well detailed figurine, and probably up there is one of my favorites for sure. But I don't know what my top like 3 or 5 would be, except for some of the ones I might mention. Let's get the Saurons out of the way. Let's move the camera out of my way so I can do this. We have 2 different Saurons. I've been trying to get this guy to glow. I haven't gotten him to glow, so I put him up in the window to get some sunlight. This is probably my favorite Funko figure, because he looks closer to the movie version. You can also tell his mace is done better than the original versions. And he's got a lot of attention to detail and such going on. And the fact that he glows and looks like hot lava from pictures I've seen is freaking awesome. Makes him look like one of the coolest figurines. He's also close. I less think of a Pop Funko when I see him. And that's what I like. I like thinking less of a Pop Funko when I see this guy. This guy's just really cool. He's probably, in my opinion, like the best Pop Funko out there. Even if you're like not a fan of Lord of the Rings, I think he's really good. They did a hell of a job on him. The original version's still really good, but he does have typical problems. I do like the design of him. His cape's a little lame, and of course his mace is lame, but I do like this. They worked a skull face and the eyes into it being more like voidless pupils or whatever, voidless holes, to match that skeletal look. So it is still really good figurine. I just prefer the other version, the glow-in-the-dark version, better. And this is probably one of my favorites, if not the best, Pop Funko, because of the detail and such that goes into him. All right. He also has his own stand, and it's not just an ordinary stand. It's a stand that actually has detail. You can see his fingers on the ground here, and it's like a stone floor. His fingers are cut off here, and this is supposed to be him like glowing before he like explodes. So it's really cool. I love it, and that's probably what shot it up as one of my favorites. The only other one I saw that could match it is probably Arthas the Lich King, because he has a similar thing going on with the ground of like snow and such. That's really cool. Nick Valentine's one of my favorites. I love the detail that's gone into this guy. He's probably my favorite character in the game, but now he's also translated as my favorite of the Funko Pops, except for one other Funko Pop character I'll get to in the Fallout series. But yeah, he's probably one of my favorites. I love his detail and design. But yeah, he doesn't stand very well, as you can see. And let's have a look. We're going to bring both of them over. I love both these guys. There's so much attention to detail. I'm sorry for the lighting once again. That's why I'm like turning them and such, so that you can somewhat see them in the light. But yeah, I love Sheogorath. I love he's got the staff. This looks more like the version from Skyrim, but still really cool. And I love Vivek. These are really cool looking Pop Funkos. They are probably up there as my top. They are probably in my top 5, if not the Baldur's Gate 3 ones or the robots. They are really cool. I love their designs. There's actually a glow-in-the-dark version of him that's getting more and more expensive as you look on eBay, but still really cool Pop Funko characters. And I love that they got stands. Though they're clear stands, I will say one thing is Sheogorath likes to come off easily for some reason, but I got it to work. I got it to work eventually. All right, who do we take? Let's get the Deathclaw out of the way. I love Deathclaws. They're freaking awesome. But I will say, over the years, this has gotten a little lame looking to me. It's still a cool Pop Funko, and I'm glad I have it. I'm just, It's probably getting up there as one of my least favorites now. One of my least favorites, sadly. I still love it, and it's definitely not the worst, but it's getting there. At least it's got more going on with it. It doesn't have the typical arms at the side. I mean, they kind of have to do it that way. They weren't going to frickin' mess up on that. Let's get the big boys out here. Uh, these are probably my biggest Pop Funko. Let's have them in the light. Look at those two. And then we got Rom over here. These guys are freaking awesome. I love Liberty Prime. He's probably my favorite Pop Funko. Once again, the robot thing works, though his head is a little overly huge. But the robot and the detail thing just always works for Pop Funko. They always make really cool, like, robot designs where they really make them work. I will say that he has a hard time standing, but it's not that bad. His freaking big ass head is just really heavy. So let's move him out of the way. So him right here. And then we got Cyber Demon. I love his detail. He's got a lot of detail going on him. Once again, the lighting is not very good right now. I might pull over the curtains. It's not too bright right now. It's early day, but I wanted to do this early anyways. I just felt like it. But yeah, this is a cool Funko Pop, and it's huge. It is freaking huge. And finally, this is probably up there as like my second, if not third favorite Pop Funko. I went to GameStop with my friend Dave, and I saw this in the store, and I was like, I don't like Pop Funko usually, but this legit almost just looks like a shorter version of General Rom. It just looks so close to the character. It's got so much detail into it, and it's one of my favorites. I love it. And of course, he's not doing typical things. His hands are freaking huge. But I think, if anything, these two are my top two favorite Pop Funkos. I don't know why I don't have any Halo Pop Funko. I kind of think I should. I kind of want Arbiter if I'm going to get something, but they're always getting more and more expensive. I would like to talk more about the Mass Effect, because Mass Effect genuinely, like, Andromeda having more Pop Funko, and the ones they chose to do Pop Funko of freaking suck. I freaking hate who they chose. They have Liam. Liam's boring. PB is freaking annoying in the games, and it's like, if you're going to have a Asari as a Pop Funko, please at least do like Liara or Samara, not freaking PB of all things. Like, if I were to remove, they also even have variants of like Sarah. There's like 3 variants of Sarah Ryder, I believe, and there's like 2 of PB and such. And they even made a giant Pop Funko for the villain. And I'm just like, why does that deserve more stuff and more like freaking like figurines than what, freaking Mass Effect, the trilogy got? Like, you feel kind of disrespected because they did just though more of Andromeda than they did for Mass Effect. And you can tell, like, the Mass Effect ones go for way more money than the Andromeda ones. The Andromeda ones just suck. Um, and I know that there are some weak ones in the Mass Effect ones, but I would rather pick up the Commander Shepard and Miranda one over any of those any day. Part of the reason, I think, if there's one that is good, is Jaal, but that's okay. And I wouldn't say that the villain looks bad or anything. He does have a lot of detail compared to everybody else, but I just do not care for that character. When I learned how boring and just generic he is in the game, I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, like, it's just so surprising they haven't made more for freaking, like, why isn't Saren or Elusive Man or something, or freaking Harbinger a freaking Pop Funko? Like, come on. Even as a freaking collector form. Like, come on. And then, like, they should have done like Drac and Vetra over PB and Liam. Is just like, what the hell? Definitely not Korra. Korra's freaking boring. Just like I was saying with Cyberpunk, the same swooped over on one side hair while partially shaven on the other side and crap. or short or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to complain there. I'll be getting two Mr. Sinisters. I saw them for real cheap, and I was like, I have to get these two. I love Mr. Sinister. I thought the classic version looked cool. I even like the other version. And they might be some of my favorites too. They might be up there. I will say that even though the Witcher ones are kind of boring, they're definitely better, and I'm glad I got them. So we'll hopefully see them in the future, but I would only get them if they were on frickin' sale. Otherwise, the only other, also Lord Soth looks frickin' awesome. That's another Pop Funko that looks so cool, but I barely know anything about the character. So yeah, I think that's about it. See ya. You have an awesome day. If you did enjoy, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I will see you next time. I got a bunch of stuff strewn down here because I'm trying to get ready for Batman stuff, as well as the other couple months that I'm going to be doing next month. I want to do Ultraman Godzilla stuff. So yeah, I will see you when I can get to the Batman stuff, which is actually over here waiting. So I will see you next time. Bye.